going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for stopping in. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now and hit the bell as well. We've got a lot of stuff coming up over the next several weeks and over the next several months as well, and you don't want to miss it, and hitting that bell is going to ensure that you stay up to date. I try to post 2 to 3 videos a week. I've been doing about 3 to 4 a week lately. We don't know if that's if that's a pace that's going to be maintained or not, but I think 2 to 3 is pretty safe. So again, you don't want to miss it. Hit the bell. Thank you very much. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up as well. Today, I just wanted to do a little short video. Nothing too crazy, nothing too intense, not a lot of information. The packages continue to roll in, and we're doing some installation videos, working on those as they come along. But like I said today, I got just a quick little video for you. If you have been following along, either here or on Instagram, you will know that I recently installed the Z1 silicone intake tubes, and I wanted to do a little review, kind of update video on those. It's been a week or two since I've got them installed, and I just got a little bit of information for you that I'd like to share so you can use this information as you move forward in your projects as well. For a quick reminder, here are those intake tubes. I went with black. You can choose black, red, or blue. I like the engine bay to be subtle and clean. No need for a bunch of crazy colors. Black looks good. It blends in nicely, and it makes this little Z1 logo stand out. I also like, for some reason, the silver pipe clamps. It just kind of is a little bit of contrast and makes the whole thing look pretty cool. Anyway, if you remember from the video, or if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. We discussed the correct way to install these and attach them, particularly in this section. There's a big kind of, I don't know, valve cover, ventilation, catch can, filter, something or other. I'm not sure what you want to call it or what the scientific name is, but we eliminated it on this side. It's a large kind of fixture that wraps around kind of in a rectangular shape. We eliminated it and just installed this 21 or 22 inch section of heater hose. So it'll still allows the valve cover to be ventilated and be directed back into the intake tube. I pulled that off. I checked in there. There's no serious oil residue or anything like that, so I'm not worried about it literally sucking oil up into the intake. You know, I kind of worried for a second that I eliminated that box and that was going to maybe cause an issue since there was no kind of compartment for that oil to be caught if there was to be any blow-by that made its way up there. But so far so good after a week or so of driving, some high RPM driving and some interstate driving as well. This side we were able to maintain one of those boxes. It's difficult to see, but it's the small one, and that was able to you know, be clamped right back into the tube, so not worried about that side. All in all, they look really good. I'm pleased with how they look. They really cleaned up the engine bay, gave it more of a sleek look, and yeah, I like it. So besides them looking good, what's my overall take, my overall review? I'll say this. I don't think they do much for you, or they don't do much for me right now in terms of performance. No complaints. I took a 200-mile trip all interstate last weekend and got 31 miles to the gallon. I don't know if it's just because it was interstate driving. I was in sport mode. If it was because I put in these clean filters or, you know, installed these intake tubes, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just, you know, interstate driving. Nonetheless, no complaints. A lot of people that install these install the K&N drop-in filters as well, and say that it changed the tone of their exhaust. That may be true. I don't have the K&N filters. I did put in these kind of generic ultra flow filters. I don't think they move as much air as a K&N filter will. But with that being said, I noticed no change whatsoever in the exhaust note. No big deal. Wasn't looking for one, but I didn't notice any performance increase or decrease either, which I didn't expect. I did notice, like I said before, a little bit better throttle response with these filters, maybe because they flow a little better than the OEM filters, but maybe just because the filters that I had in before were super dirty when I changed them out. So there's a lot of variables, a lot of what ifs, but nonetheless, no performance increase after installing these intake tubes. Now, that being said, I do think that they will contribute to increased power down the road when we get these other modifications done and we get the car tuned. I don't think that they will necessarily create horsepower themselves, but I think they will allow the other modifications back down the line, the test pipes that we got, the resonated test pipes, and the further exhaust work we do, and then the tune. I think it will help those modifications boost the horsepower. And I say that because we still have the MAF, the MAF, mass airflow meter is calibrated to what it's calibrated at. So it all depends on how much air is coming in. Anything past the MAF in terms of bringing air into the engine isn't really going to do anything. But what these tubes do is eliminate or at least decrease the amount of turbulence in the airflow. So it's a more streamlined process as the air enters the engine, and I think that efficiency is going to allow the test pipes and the other exhaust work as well as the tune to generate a bit more power. So like I said, the tubes themselves are not creating power. We're not bringing in any more air into the engine. We're not necessarily increasing velocity, but we're getting rid of some of that turbulence, which I suppose in turn increases the velocity a bit, but that's a totally different discussion. I just think that they will help later on. A lot of rambling to get to that point. Sorry, hopefully you understand what I mean. But if nothing else, it makes the engine bay look better, and I don't hate popping my hood now. I had those nasty ripply intake tubes that were sort of discoloring and, getting that kind of weird grayish burnt rubber look, weathered nastiness. So these look sharp, and I like that. I like how they look. And again, once we get the K&N filters in there and we get these other modifications done in the tune, I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised and very much pleased with the results that we see, and I'm super excited for that. End of February, early March, you don't want to miss that. But along the way, over the next several weeks, we got some install videos, we got some part unboxings, we got a bunch of stuff happening. So stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for visiting again today. I appreciate your feedback. Go ahead and leave me the thumbs up. If you want to leave a thumbs down, go ahead and do that as well. But please let me know why you're leaving a thumbs down. I want to continue to produce content, but I want it to get better, more engaging, more entertaining. And if you don't like a video, I kind of need to know why so I can fix it. So I appreciate your input. I appreciate your feedback. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.